Hello everyone, 2018 has been an exciting year and kind of a strange year for films. There's been a lot of hype, a lot of disappointing, kind of mediocre films, There's a lot of mediocrity out there in the cinema. A lot of movies that left me kind of disappointed and underwhelmed with the amount of films there were this year. There are many films that I did not get a chance to see that would probably make this list, like Stars Born, Mandy, First Man. So many other films have come out this year that I have not got a chance to see. There were other films that I saw that I thought were good but that were highly overrated in some capacity. Others that I enjoyed but didn't quite make the top 10. So here is just a list of my personal favorite films of 2018. This is not the best films of 2018. This is my personal favorite films. Films that I thought were very entertaining, that I personally enjoyed. And I know this is going to differ from your list, so feel free to let me know your favorites down in the comments below. And if you have a problem with this list, well, who cares? I don't care, because this is my list. And number 10 is a guilty pleasure. It's Tomb Raider. It's a film that I found disappointing, but I just kept watching after the first time. I got it on Blu-ray, and I'm a big fan of the rebooted games of Tomb Raider starting in 2013. I love Alicia Vikander in the role. I actually like the first half of this film better than the second half with the twist they have with her father. Other than that, though, it's a good action-adventure film. It may not have as much of the storytelling as the Angelina Jolie films. It's a very different Lara Croft, but I enjoyed it. It was a guilty pleasure. And it's just one of my favorites. Even though it's not the best film, it's just a film that I, for some reason, enjoyed. I don't know, something about it. Junkie XL's music, the action. I love Walter Goggins as a villain there. There's so many kind of kick-ass, really cool homage moments from the video games brought onto this, and it was definitely one of the better video game adaptations. Above that is Equalizer 2. I love the first Equalizer, and Antoine Fuqua did a fantastic job with this sequel. This is a completely different monster from Equalizer, but Denzel Washington is fantastic as Mac. A friend of his ends up getting killed, and he goes after the people who killed her for revenge. This has such a great plot. It was a bit of a slow burn at the beginning, but I love the action. Some really great sequences. Denzel Washington delivers, as always, and I love the direction of this, and I love the story. It has some twists and turns with the plot. Some predictable, some not so predictable. And that final confrontation they have in the film is just fantastic. I really, really love The Equalizer 2. It also has some great moments of thrills and suspense, and it's among one of the most underrated sequels of 2018. Above that at number 8 is Creed 2. Creed 2 is the sequel to Creed, and I love the first Creed. This film was great from beginning to end. It moved a little fast. I didn't think the first two fights were as good as the final fight, and it was definitely missing something with Ryan Coogler out of the director's chair. But that said, I love this sequel. It's a little bit of Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, with some elements of Rocky 5. I love Sylvester Stallone, and Michael B. Jordan is fantastic. I mean, he made Black Panther as Killmonger, and he's awesome as Adonis Creed. He starts to get out of Rocky's shadow and start a legacy of his own, get out of Apollo's shadow. He's Adonis Creed in this film, and he faces against Victor Drago, the son of Ivan Drago. I love Dolph Lundgren in this film, his relationship with his son. So many heartfelt, epic moments, training moments, and the fighting is very well done. One of the few sequels in the series where you root for the villains as much as you do the heroes, the antagonists as much as the protagonists. And I love this film. It just all around has heart, and it may not be as epic as you want it to be, but it still is a damn good film. Nothing was ever going to surpass Creed 1, but this lives up to the first Creed. Above that at number 7 is Halloween. Halloween is a sequel that ignores all the other previous sequels, and way it's kind of a soft reboot, but I love this movie. I don't like some of the twists it takes with the story. The final confrontation does feel a bit short compared to the previous films, but I do love this film. It's a spiritual successor to the original 1978 Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis does a fantastic job in this. I love her as Laurie Strode. She kicks ass and takes names, and she goes after Michael. Michael is the most brutal he's ever been. I love the homage they make to the original film, and the music by John Carpenter is among one of the best scores of 2018. Overall, this is a blast to watch during Halloween, and even though it's not as good as it could have been, it has some missed opportunities. I did like it. It was an old-fashioned slasher film, no shaky cam, shot very well, long takes. And it was pretty much a regurgitation of Halloween, but with a different generation. I loved it. I liked Laurie Strode's daughter, her relationship, and the granddaughter as well. And that fight, there's certain moments that take you off guard, certain moments of humor that actually kind of work in many ways. It has more humor than I expected, but there's other moments of just pure terror, whether it be the bathroom scene, Michael, and that part with the kid. It was just, oh my god, I can't believe they got away with that. I love it. From the opening credit sequence to the very end, it is a blast, and it's one of my favorite films. After that, at number 6 is Ready Player One. I read the book right before the movie came out, and even though it omits a lot of stuff from the novel, I do like what they do with this movie adaptation. It's something on its own, directed by Steven Spielberg. You can't tell a guy in his 70s directed this movie. I love it. I love the actors in this, the effects, Parsifal, Artemis. Oh man, so much nostalgia. If you're a fan of the 80s, of movies, of just pop culture in general, Ready Player One is your film. It has a lot of strong themes there about humanity and corporations. And I really love it. Ben Mendelsohn is getting typecast as a villain, but I love him. I love him as the bad guy. And IOI going after these players, trying to get these magical keys. In many ways, it's like Willy Wonka meets the Matrix. And yeah, I really love this film with the visuals and the story and the romance. It's definitely one of my favorite films of the year. After that, at number 5 is Avengers Infinity War. Talk about a film where the stakes get really high and shit happens in this film. It really does. Thanos is the best villain of 2018. I love Thanos, Josh Brolin playing Thanos. This film does have some of the usual Marvel jokes, but it takes some risks, and it ends on such a shocking note. Never since Matrix Reloaded was I so shocked at a movie's ending, just wanting to see more, and I love it. I love seeing the Avengers deal with their own adventures separated. We finally have Spider-Man a part of the Avengers. Thor has his moments. Captain America has his moments. Each character gets their shining moment, and I love it. I love the humor there with the Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, that whole fight with Thanos. Rocket Raccoon's my favorite character, and who could forget that infamous snap? Just snap it away, half the universe gone. Such a crazy ending. Everything we've seen from this past decade from Marvel has been leading to this film, and it delivered. And it makes me wonder what's going to happen in 2019 with Avengers Endgame. And yeah, that ending is so powerful. There's so many heartfelt, emotional moments. And it's one of the few movies where you can see where the antagonist lies. You can see his motivation, Thanos, and the reason why he does things. He actually believes he's saving the universe from destruction by basically killing half the universe. And those after credit sequences were great. Definitely Marvel's best film of the year. After that, at number 4 is a little film called Bad Times at the El Royale. Drew Goddard wrote and directed this, and it's very Tarantino-esque. I love it. It's like a whodunit with all these random people at this hotel called the El Royale. Think of Clue if Quentin Tarantino directed it, but there was like a murder mystery and kind of conspiracy behind it. And you had like Charles Manson with a group of people just go ahead and confront the characters. That's what this movie is like. I love John Hamm in this. I love Dakota Johnson, but Jeff Bridges is great. You have Chris Hemsworth. Oh man, all the actors in this do a great job. I love the actress who's a singer. She is great in this. You have Cynthia Erivo. Her and Jeff Bridges steal the show in this film, and the soundtrack is amazing. Bernadette by the Four Tops. Hush, I think it's Deep Purple. Oh my gosh, so many awesome moments in this film that takes its time and delivers a story. One of the most well-crafted films I've seen of the year, and one of my personal favorites from the fall that I feel is not getting mentioned enough. After that, at number 3 is Black Klansman, directed by Spike Lee. This is a fantastic film that stars John David Washington, Denzel Washington's son, and Adam Driver. And it's pretty much about the real story of this black police officer who basically infiltrates the KKK. He basically calls their telephone and infiltrates them, and has Adam Driver pose as a white man infiltrating the Ku Klux Klan. Such a crazy movie, but what I love, not only is it a true story, it has some moments of humor, but there's some very serious, grave moments. And not only that, it's not a period piece just as in the 70s. It's a topic, it's a film that relates to our times now and the turbulent nature in our country. And that ending with the American flag is fantastic, showing Charlottesville. It's a great story unto itself, and it's inspiring seeing this man deal with these group of people and the corruption within politics and law enforcement, but also seeing how much has changed and not changed over the course of 40 years, you know. These people are still out there committing hate crimes. There's still racists out there. And it's sad. But I love it because it has a great message in this. This is one of Spike Lee's best films, and I hope he gets nominated. It's a travesty he wasn't nominated at the Golden Globes, but he should be nominated for Best Director. This is a film that has cultural impact. It's a powerful film. You're going to really think about the state of the world, the state of the United States of America after seeing this, and just think about all the hatred and racism out there. It really is going to kind of make you think. It's one of the films that makes you think, but I love it because you have moments of humor, you relate to the characters, their stakes, and it's crazy that this is real life, but sometimes if it sounds too good to be true, most likely it's true. And this is a well-crafted film showing the story of Ron Stallworth and the work he did and how it kind of went unknown for a while. It's great seeing the certain themes and movements that were going on during the time of the 70s and then seeing how it relates to our period now. Certainly one of my favorite movies of the year. After that, my number 2 most favorite is Aquaman. Aquaman rocked the 7 seas, and last year I saw Justice League and that film left me disappointed. Aquaman left me feeling amazing. Jason Momoa did a fantastic job as Aquaman. I love Patrick Wilson as King Orm, Ocean Master. You have Amber Heard as Mera. I love the romance between her and Arthur Curry. And we also have Black Manta with Nicole Kidman as Arthur Curry's mother. William Dafoe, Dolph Lundgren in the film. I love this movie. It was a lot of fun, very entertaining, and in many ways cut from the same cloth of Man of Steel, but underwater. And it stayed true to its comic book roots. A lot of films think that comic book means having a lot of stupid jokes and being funny. Aquaman does a little bit of that, but what this film does, unlike other films, is that it fully embraces its comic book roots with the costumes, the characters, and just the overall kind of fun and wackiness of it. It definitely feels like a comic book movie, but if it was allowed to work in like a monster horror film, it is amazing. Has spectacular visuals, great action, and a lot of heart, and it's definitely my favorite superhero film of the year for me personally. I love Aquaman. There are certain moments that remind me of like the Super Friends. There are certain moments that remind me of the Justice League cartoon, and then Injustice Gods Among Us with Aquaman. Jason Momoa is great in this. James Wan does a fantastic job directing this film. For his first superhero film, he knocks it out of the park. And it really shows you what a film can be like when a director's vision is untampered and not interfered with. And I love it. And my number 1 spot is Mission Impossible Fallout. I may have some bias here because I'm a huge Mission Impossible fan, but no other film for me was as entertaining or had a level of heart and just intensity. There's so many thrilling moments in this. Action done for real, the halo jump, the Paris chase with the motorcycle, footstep chase, car chase. This film had everything. And then filmed with the IMAX format, that helicopter chase of Tom Cruise actually physically flying a helicopter for real was spectacular. I love Henry Cavill in this as Walker. You have Simon Pegg getting to do a lot more. Ving Rhames. Rebecca Ferguson is great as Ilsa Faust. Christopher McQuarrie is the first director to direct a Mission Impossible film twice, and he knocks it out of the park, making one of the best entries. A 6th film shouldn't be this good, but it is. Lauren Balfe's score is spectacular. My favorite score from a film this year. Mission Impossible Fallout is just a damn good action movie, but it's just a damn good movie, period, and it's my personal favorite of the year. I've made many videos over Mission Impossible you can check out, but for me, it still remains my favorite. So that's it for my top 10 favorite films of 2018 this year. I think I'm going to relax for the holidays. I hope everybody out there has a Merry Christmas. I'm going to watch Mission Impossible Fallout. And yeah, feel free to share your favorites down below in the comments. Follow me on the Stardust app at Fred Film Fanatic. Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Hit that bell so you can get notified of my new video. And stay tuned this New Year's Eve. I'm going to have a special My Favorite segment. This is going to be long and, in a way, have a license to kill for your eyes only. So, for everyone out there, Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year, you filthy animals. Till next time.